guys, and welcome to a brand new video, and of course, welcome back to Leeds at Night. Of course, last time you would have saw this would have been in the January transfer window. It's a video, it's a series where I go through all the news happening around Leeds United, and let's talk about a few things. The first thing that we need to talk about is, of course, Daniel Farke. Now, some people may hate this because I've seen people on Twitter beforehand. I don't know about now because I haven't seen much on Twitter at the moment. I've kind of stayed off Twitter after that playoff final, just trying to get over it myself and not worry about going on Twitter and getting more annoyed from stupid tweets from stupid people, some people. Anyway, what I want to talk about first is Daniel Farke and his position at Leeds United. Daniel Farke is going to be Leeds United manager next season, which I'm happy for. I'm happy that he's going to stay and be our manager. As he talked with the 49ers and talked with them and went through a few things of how he's going to improve himself as a manager and improve the way we play and improve how to change things through our games to make us better through our games, which is what we've been saying that we've, about him, is that Daniel Farke doesn't change things and then we concede, or he doesn't change things and the only plan B he has is throw the attackers on. Now, that he said he's going to learn to improve and learn a few things to improve the team in other ways of like changing this, maybe changing formation through a game and being like, okay, now let's go to a 5-back since we're 1-0 up with if there's 5 minutes left, or maybe maybe we're getting destroyed in the midfield like we were in the playoff final and like we were a lot of times against Southampton this season every single game. The 4-2-3-1 isn't working. Let's go to a 4-3-3 and try and win the midfield battle at first and try and get more possession and win that battle in the midfield. In certain games, maybe he's like, okay, they've got more midfielders, we'll play a 4-3-3. And, other games, the 4-2-3-1 will work because we'll just be the better team in the midfield and we can win the midfield battle with just that 4-2-3-1. But yeah, so improvements in-game management is crucial for next season because that's what kind of cost us, as well as, what happened in, of course, the start of the season when we lost, not people were refusing to play and all that. That also comes into play. Now, Crescencio Somerville, let's go into some of the players. Let's go into Crescencio Somerville. Of course, he'll be leaving, basically confirmed that he'll be leaving. We don't know who he's going to go to yet. There's a lot of big clubs coming in from, you have Chelsea, you have Liverpool. They're the only ones I've really seen. Probably the other top clubs are coming in from as well. How much money would you expect to get for Somerville? I feel like a minimum that we need is 35 plus. 35 million plus. I'm tempted to say 40 minimum, 40 mil minimum. Around 4. If we get 40 mil from him, I'll be happy. I mean, I'm going to be sad because of how good he's been this season, and I would have loved to see him next season, if we got promoted. But since we didn't get promoted, he will be leaving. So 40 million. I want to know if you guys would be happy with 40 million because I will. Another player that's probably certainly going to go is Willy Gnonto as well. How much do you think we'll get for him? Honestly, I don't think we'll get as much for him. I think we only get about 20 million. I think we can get 20 million out of him, which people may say 20 million for Gnonto. Like people be like 20 million only, but 20 mil will be good for Gnonto. We barely paid any money for Gnonto, and now we're gonna get 20 million, maybe even 15. It might only be 15 because we are in the championship. We got to remember. But like other players that I've heard people are sniffing around for, Southampton are sniffing around for Dan James, and I've been looking at this like no. Dan James we need to keep Dan James at all costs, in my opinion. And I think there's a bit of me, there's more of me inside saying he will stay than he won't, then he will leave. I feel like he will stay just due to the fact that look what happened when he came back last season, the season that just finished. He got taken out on loan, to Fulham. They stayed up. He comes back to us after we got relegated, and he wanted to stay. He wanted to stay for the team. He wanted to stay, which for me, I'm happy that and I'm hoping he does the same thing again. Because we didn't treat him great as the fan base and that did not treat him great when he was at the club in the Premier League. We then get relegated and he's like, no, I want to stay for this club. And, I think that gave a lot of respect from the fans saying, wow, he actually wants to play and fight for the badge. A lot of players weren't doing that at that time. There was a lot of players that wanted to just leave and get out of here and didn't want to do that at that time. So, and he had an amazing season. That's another reason why I feel like people may come in for him because he had an amazing season. Players another player, Bayern Munich, are sniffing around at Archie Gray as well. That's what I've heard. I've heard Archie Gray's being sniffed at by Bayern Munich. But I do think Archie Gray will stay. I don't think he'll leave. I'm confident that we will be able to keep Archie Gray. Leeds boy and all that. He probably wants to be part of the team that gets us promoted back to the Premier League and then play for us in the Premier League. So I think he will stay. Rutter is another one that He's probably going to get a lot of noise. I haven't heard much at the moment, like about clubs, but I feel like he's going to get a lot of noise throughout this transfer window. I think Rutter stays though, and yeah, I think he'll stay. This whole thing about this 190 million. That's another thing I want to talk about. The 190 million that we owe, and we have to get that money. We have to pay that money before we can buy any players. That's not true. Let's just get that out of the way. That's not true. We have to pay. I think we have to pay. I don't know exactly. I think it's 70 million right now. I think we have to pay something like 70 million this before the season starts, or this year, something like that. I know it's something like that. So we have to pay 70 million. But yeah. So going into this transfer window, you'll get more videos like this, the Leeds at Night videos on this channel, and more videos talking about players that are leaving, players that are going to come in, because we haven't really heard much about players coming in at the moment. We're very early on. Of course, Liam Cooper, we've also heard news that he's going to be leaving as well at the end of the, which we already kind of knew that. We already knew that he's going to be leaving as a free agent. Thanks, Cooper, for everything. Wish you got that. It would have been nice to give him a fairy tale ending at Wembley, which, if only the players turned up, we might have done that. But yeah, thank you, Cooper, for everything. Ayling has confirmed he's gone now, by the way. Like, he signed permanently for Borough. Middlesbrough signed him permanently. Go on, Ayling. And thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace.